Hey y'all, welcome back to City Mystic Lux. I'm Virginia, and I want to give a quick shout out to new followers. This is a totally new channel, a little experiment on TikTok. But I want to say what's up to Carrie Dwen Angel. Thanks for following. Kimmy Gatlin, love you, know you from other platforms. Good to see you. Full Moon Creations, Mark Ward Moody. Sorry if I messed that up. My eyes aren't great, and I have my glasses across the room. Sunny Omstay. I think I said that right. Star Q, Fire Pie, you know who you are. Redwood Wizard, Priya, love you girl. Witch Doctor, Nick, it's good to see you too. It's been a long time. And Zila the Aztec Sholo. Welcome. Thanks for following. I'm thinking, depending on what this channel does, if we get up to, 1,000 followers, maybe we'll do some live hangouts, some Q&As, or maybe some live readings. We'll see. Anyway, let's get started. It's today's late night tarot. As always, every reader is different. I'm looking for information to come through, and I rely on my 50% mystical nature and 50% practical nature. You get a good old-fashioned Capricorn reading when I'm reading tarot. That's just the way it comes out. If it comes out different for you or for other readers, that's fantastic. I think we all have our gifts. The more readers, the merrier. The more approaches, the merrier. I do have 3 rules about my readings, though, that are pretty firm, and I'm looking for those to be followed, whether I'm getting a reading from someone else or giving a reading to someone or myself, which are: 1, I'm here to do no harm. 2, love is my law. And 3, I'm looking for empowering information. By the way, by love is my law, what I mean is I'm looking for information that you can build upon to grow fulfilling experiences and to make room for love to grow in your life if you so choose to let that in. But that is really what I'm focused on. So with that, let's take a peek at what our reading might be today. I'm going to cut the deck 3 times. And let's see here. Oh, interesting. 9 of Swords. So I've said in other videos that every card has an alchemy. I don't look at any card as good or bad, and that is true. And 9 of Swords is one of my least favorite cards to see in a reading. However, the reason it's my least favorite is because it means I have some work to do, which is, fair, especially when it comes to 9 of Swords work. So you know how sometimes they talk about getting in touch with the tape, right? Like the stuff that's keeping us awake, the stuff we can't keep mulling over, the stuff we keep saying over and over and over again to our friends and family, or the stuff that we are hoping come to pass, hope don't come to pass, like that tape of stuff that we're really aware of, that our mind is really focused on. The tape is often the source of anxiety. And so when we have 9 of Swords work to do, it's around pausing the tape and getting a little bit of balance around our anxiety, which means getting balance around our thinking. So we've got to find some hacks and tips and tricks to kind of override the tape, or get the tape to pause and let some other information and data inform how we're thinking. A lot of things. So when we're dealing with 9 of Swords, it's really about our fears and our thinking kind of spinning out of control. And once it starts looping on itself, that's when we stop being able to hear our intuition, stop being able to positively receive potentially helpful suggestions, and we kind of block off the natural flow of whatever is moving on in our lives. So some kind of interesting things to think about that might kind of help pause the tape. Number 1, when I think I am in charge of the way my life goes and what other people do, and all the external factors that I have no control over, I am in big trouble. That's when I know I'm setting myself up for a 9 of Swords scenario. I can only take the next positive action in front of me that's available to me. I can't control what other people are going to do, how they're going to show up, what they're going to bring to the table. I can't control whether or not someone's going to drive crazy around me. I can't control whether or not the power is going to go out today, right? I can only control the choices that I make. So if I'm dealing with something that I find stressful, I have fear about it, I have anxiety, what can really help me kind of pause that Nine of Swords tape, that feedback loop, is to start just laying on the page, like get a journal page and lay out, okay, what are the actions that are available to me in this situation? If I'm anxious about money, can I get a part-time job? Do I have clothes I can sell? Do I have a skill that I know is marketable and in demand, right? And if I need money now, what's realistically available to me to kind of solve that problem? You could fill in the blanks. Money's just generally alive for most of us, so it's a good example. But even, in romantic relationships, if there's, oh God, I don't know, did I say the right thing? Should I have gone to that event when I really didn't want to? Whatever. Should I not have been cranky that day? Like, what are you going to do? You're a person doing person things. I always say that, right? So, like, okay, maybe I'm concerned that I was being a little bit inconsiderate in that example. How can I show this other person that I do care, that I do consider them, that I do, I do have concern for their well-being and their comfort and their joy, that I'm appreciative of their efforts, right? So finding little ways to kind of like identify what action steps are available, and get to like the bottom of what is underneath that anxiety, what is underneath that running fear, and let me parse out, what do I have control over and what do I not have control over? And then from there, we can at least identify action steps that we could take and then give it over to the universe. There's always a trust fall when it comes to meeting our fears and anxieties. Once we've done our part, that's as much as we can do, and then the rest is out of our hands, right? But putting a pause to that anxiety is usually about finding some empowerment. What inspired, empowered action can I take in this situation? Sometimes the only empowered, inspired action to take is to meditate or to journal. Like, I am a big proponent. I write letters to the universe every day. Like, please, universe, help me with this thing I don't know how to control, and help me with this thing, and show me inspiration, and guide my thoughts and actions and words today. Show me where you'd have me go. Show me how you'd have me be of service. I have this, so yeah, I have this little system that I like to use. It's called the God Can. I just have an old can, but I fill it up with like notes of things that I am absolutely anxious about and concerned about that I don't know what to do. So I write it on a little Post-it note or a little tiny note, and I just say, universe, please take this. And it's like a physical way of turning over. By the way, that's not mine. Like, that was a suggestion made to me in a really tough time in my life, and it really helped, so it stuck around, and I still do it today. It's also really fun to go back and look at like 2-3 years ago, the stuff that was on the notes in the God Can, or like, what was this? I don't even remember this situation, and it kind of helps me to remember that like my autonomic nervous system can get really, really worked up and think that whatever I'm going through is like do or die level concern, in the moment, and then something happens and it passes and it's fine. And looking at past situations where I felt that way, I find very therapeutic to remember that it's not that big a deal. Like, this too shall pass. And then, just to wrap it up, breaking it down, nines are an energy of almost completion. In tarot, we go ace through 10. So the nines, you're almost through with a process. It's almost fully developed. Swords are about our intellect, thinking, communication, how we're actually addressing our mental operating system. So I hope you get some respite from your anxiety today and use some of the tools that's suggested. Let me know how it goes. Bye.